Fletch, just what was the difference in the first half and the second half?
Say it again.
What was the difference between the first half and the second half?
Yeah, we had a good start to the first half. I've been picking up some fouls, guys getting in foul trouble, but we didn't start off good in the second half. Had a couple turnovers, but missed a few shots. But ultimately, I think it was our defense. Just let them score easy buckets and get out and do what they want to do.
Trey, kind of along the same lines, just you guys have not really let teams go off on runs like what Ohio State was able to do tonight. What do you think was the biggest factor in why they were able to get on those extended runs?
I think we fouled them really early, and then that kind of got their heads up. And then you go into the second half, and they're a good one-on-one team, and they hit some shots. But the thing about defense is when you get a couple kills and defensively you're in a groove, they don't make those tough step backs or one-on-one plays as much. So I think it's just we let them get their heads up.
You guys saw a lot of Bruce Thornton in last year's matchup. What do you guys see from him tonight? Anything new? Anything outside of the game plan?
Pretty good player. He gets to his spots, and their record doesn't mean much because they're a good team. They got a lot of talent. So if he's head of their program, they're going to win quite a few games.
Trey, going up against Ohio State's front court, what did you see preparing for them on film, and how did it match up with the different bodies that they threw at you?
We just knew they were, you got Oregon, obviously their big guy. They were going to be in a deeper drop. We knew these guys were going to be flat hedging on, or, a little bit up on their ball screen defense. Small things, and then whenever, obviously, there was a smaller guy on me, they tried posting me up. So it's really just reading whoever's on me and playing through there.
Jakari, they were 8 of 12 from 3 in the second half. Just what were you seeing out there as why they kept getting open that way, and where the breakdowns were?
I feel like it was just us, staying square to the ball. They ran a couple, ghost screens, and, we turned our hips and gave them an angle for them to get downhill and for them to have opportunities to play making, for us to help down, and they hit them in the corners. So, yeah, we was just breaking down too easily on defense, and that allowed them to drive to the basket and get kick-out threes. So, and then they made a couple of tough threes at the end. So,
Trey, you guys have played a lot of games here in a short period of time. Obviously, had the trip out west. Did you have your legs in the second half?
Obviously, it's really tiring when you go out west, and there's so many things as far as getting back on different time zones and going to sleep early. But we try to do a really good job of recovering. That's one of those things where you can't control. You got to show up every day and practice hard and prepare for each team. So,
Fletch, did you guys know the score after the Mobley 3 or the 2-pointer that was kind of called a 3, and then just kind of that crazy possessions toward the end there where you guys get a couple turnovers? Just what happened defensively?
Yeah, they messed it up and went to 4 when it should have been 3. Then they put it to 2. So when I checked back in, I knew it was wrong. I said something to them. They told us to pass the ball in, but obviously you can't pass it in when the score is wrong. So it was just a little mistake.
Fletcher, I know you guys didn't shoot well from beyond the arc out in the Pacific Northwest. It seemed like that kind of carried over. Does that have to be a weapon for you guys to win games like this? I mean, you can't go through a game in the Big Ten and rely on 3 made 3-pointers, I don't think.
Yeah, definitely. We'd like to see a higher volume, a couple more makes, but ultimately it was our defense that started that second half. It just wasn't up to par, and it's not what we need. So, yeah, you can make 3 threes, but we should have won that game. It had nothing to do with how many threes we made.
Fletch, it seems like a game ago, but the minutes that CJ gave you with Braden picking up 2 early fouls to kind of help build that lead in the first half, how valuable are those minutes for him in that situation without Braden on the floor?
Yeah, CJ and Jakari, they've both just stepped up. They've been huge right when they got here in the summer. You knew they'd be able to play and help us win. And when you see a guy that's so valuable to us like Braden get 2 fouls quickly, it's obviously something you're gonna have to adjust to. But they both did a good job doing their job and taking care of the ball and getting guys shots to push that lead.
Trey, you guys created a lot of chaos again on defense. But so did a lot of things change in this game, or was it just the shot making primarily? Or?
Yeah, it's just every team's different. They had a lot more, one-on-one players that were going to go and try to make plays. I mean, it's, obviously we got to do better defensively, but they also hit, a lot of tough shots. So, hats off to them for making those.
Jakari, just what was the vibe at halftime? I would assume it'd be pretty positive. Just you guys are up 16 before they hit that late shot, and Braden only played 10 minutes in the first half. Just kind of what was the energy going into halftime coming out?
Yeah, we were very positive at halftime. We had the lead, but we also tried to tell ourselves, it's back to 0-0. We gotta do better starting off second halves. You can't play the score. You gotta, keep playing hard no matter what the score is.
Jakari, I think one thing this team did last year, and I know you weren't here with this team, was when these losses happened, they were rare, but they took it in stride and bounced back. Could you kind of read the locker room afterwards that this is a pretty resilient group, that these things happen and, this one's over and done with now?
Yeah, that's exactly what Fletch said after the game. We lost, but, you can't hang your head. You got to move on to the next day, get back started in the next game, scout, and just be ready, be prepared next time.
For Jakari, it seems like teams that play for isolations have kind of played into what you guys do defensively from a help perspective. Why was the second half different? Were they doing anything offensively to move your help around or anything like that?
I think I did a bad job just getting around screens today. I was holding screens, which slowed me down. I just got to be better at that, and that kind of opened things up for them. They were starting to get downhill more and be able to play make. So I just got to do a better job about that. So, yeah, that's pretty much how they were getting most of their threes, and they made a couple of tough ones too.